taping of Today with Jenna and Friends had been scheduled as a light-hearted episode, with Blake Shelton invited to promote his latest album and talk about life with Gwen Stefani. But from the moment he sat down, it was clear Blake wasn't in the mood for softball chatter. Jenna Hager-Bush, trying to bring some playful banter, made a remark about Blake being overshadowed by Gwen in the media. Blake chuckled at first, but when Jenna pressed harder, suggesting that Gwen's career resurgence made her the real star in the relationship, his smile faded. The tension in the studio was palpable, with even the audience unsure whether to laugh or hold their breath. Blake leaned forward, his voice sharp but steady, saying, "I'm not here to compare my marriage like it's a competition. Gwen and I support each other, we're not rivals." Jenna tried to diffuse the moment with a laugh, but her co-host chimed in, asking if it was hard to keep up with Gwen's popularity. That's when Blake's patience started to crack. "You all act like this is some kind of game show where one of us wins and one of us loses," he shot back. The crowd reacted with a mix of gasps and awkward laughter. Sensing they were witnessing something real and unscripted, instead of moving on. Jenna doubled down, framing it as a tough but fair question about ego and high-profile relationships. Blake's jaw tightened. "You're twisting something beautiful into something ugly," he said. His voice was low, but carried an unmistakable edge. "If you knew half the sacrifices we've made for each other, you wouldn't be sitting here, trying to turn our love into headlines." The studio's atmosphere grew heavy, producers frantically signaling Jenna to pivot, but she pressed on, trying to regain control of the conversation. The confrontation escalated when Jenna made a passing joke about Blake being Gwen's +1 at award shows. Blake immediately pushed back, his Oklahoma drawl cutting through the room. "I've been in this business long before you even knew my name," he snapped. "If you think I need to ride anyone's coattails, you clearly don't know who the hell I am." The crowd let out a nervous laugh, but Blake wasn't smiling. He shifted in his chair, visibly uncomfortable, and the camera caught his clenched fists resting on his knees. Jenna tried to soften her stance by saying she admired Blake's career, but only wanted to explore the public perception. That's when Blake leaned back, shaking his head. "See, that's the problem. You're not asking about the music, you're not asking about the art, you're asking about gossip. And I didn't come here for this." His words cut the atmosphere like a knife, and for a moment, even Jenna looked rattled. The control she usually held on her set was slipping away. Live for millions to see. The studio audience, sensing the drama, sat in stunned silence as Blake pushed back his chair. Jenna attempted to smooth things over with Blake. "We love having you here. Don't take it the wrong way." But Blake was already rising to his feet. "No, I am taking it the wrong way, because it is the wrong way," he fired back. "I came here to talk about my record and my fans, not to defend my marriage." He gestured toward the audience, who were whispering nervously, and then toward the cameras. "This ain't entertainment, it's a cheap shot." Without waiting for another word, Blake pulled off his mic pack and tossed it onto the couch. Gasps filled the studio as he muttered something under his breath, picked up faintly by a hot mic about never doing this circus again. Jenna tried to laugh it off, saying, "Okay, well, Blake Shelton, everybody," but her voice wavered. The audience gave an awkward round of applause, though many looked unsettled by what they had just witnessed. Backstage, chaos erupted. Producers rushed after Blake, begging him to reconsider, while Jenna sat frozen in her seat, unsure of how to proceed with the live broadcast. Eventually, the show cut to an unscheduled commercial break, leaving viewers at home confused and hungry for answers. When the broadcast returned, Jenna tried to play it cool, joking lightly about cowboys being cowboys. But the forced tone only highlighted how badly the interview had gone. Within hours, clips of Blake storming off went viral. On social media, Twitter exploded with hashtags like #Blake vs Jenna and #Shelton storms off. Fans of Blake defended him fiercely, accusing Jenna of disrespecting his marriage and baiting him for ratings. Others sided with Jenna, saying Blake had overreacted to questions that celebrities should expect in the spotlight. The split created a digital battlefield, with every second of the footage analyzed, slowed down, and dissected by both camps. By the next day, the confrontation was headline news. Entertainment outlets framed it as a meltdown, while country music blogs called it a moment of honesty from a fed-up artist. NBC executives reportedly held emergency meetings about damage control. While Blake's camp issued a short statement, Blake values his fans and looks forward to sharing his new album on platforms that respect the music. The feud between Blake Shelton and Jenna wasn't just a talk show. It had become the latest cultural flashpoint in the never-ending tug-of-war between entertainment and exploitation. Gwen Stefani didn't stay silent for long. Just hours after the clip of Blake storming off today with Jenna and friends began dominating headlines, she was spotted leaving a Los Angeles recording studio, immediately surrounded by paparazzi shouting questions about the incident. At first, she kept her cool, but when pressed about whether Blake was embarrassing her, Gwen paused, adjusted her sunglasses, and fired back. "Embarrassing me? No, he was standing up for himself, and for us." That short comment set off another media frenzy, with fans hailing her as fiercely loyal, while critics claimed she was fanning the flames instead of calming them. The following morning, Gwen joined a live radio interview to promote her own upcoming single, but unsurprisingly, the hosts shifted the conversation to Blake's walk-off. Gwen's tone was sharper this time. "I'm sick of the narrative that our marriage is some kind of punchline," she said. "Blake's one of the most talented people I've ever known, and reducing him to my +1 is insulting to him and to me." Her voice cracked slightly, revealing the emotion beneath her words. Social media lit up with fans praising her fiery defense, while others accused her of dragging it out for publicity. Behind the scenes, however, insiders claimed tensions were rising between Gwen and Blake's management teams. Blake's reps wanted him to go on a media blackout until the storm passed, while Gwen's team believed she should continue defending him loudly and publicly. This split in strategy added fuel to speculation that all wasn't perfect behind closed doors. Tabloids jumped on the rumors with headlines like "Power Couple Divided" and "Is Gwen Too Outspoken for Blake?" flooding magazine racks and gossip sites. Meanwhile, Jenna Hager-Bush returned to her show, attempting to smooth things over with viewers. She addressed the incident head-on, telling the audience, "I respect Blake and Gwen immensely. I never intended to make him feel cornered, and I regret if my questions came across that way." But her apology felt half-hearted to many, especially when she added, "At the same time, these are questions people want answers to." That line sparked outrage from Shelton fans, who accused her of justifying her behavior instead of truly apologizing. NBC executives, scrambling to contain the fallout, reportedly reached out privately to Blake's camp, offering him an exclusive opportunity to return for a redemption interview where he could set the record straight. But Blake wasn't interested. "I don't need redemption," he told his inner circle, according to leaked insider reports. "I just need to be respected." The refusal only intensified public curiosity, with fans wondering if Blake was preparing to cut ties permanently with mainstream morning shows. As the days passed, late-night comedians began poking fun at the feud. One joked that Blake's storming off was the most country thing ever. He probably rode off on a tractor. Clips like these went viral, sparking laughter in some circles but anger in others, who felt comedians were trivializing something serious. Blake himself stayed silent, which only added to the mystery and heightened the drama surrounding the situation. Gwen, however, wasn't letting it go. She posted a heartfelt message on Instagram with a picture of her and Blake holding hands backstage at one of his concerts. The caption read, "This is my partner in life, love, and music. No one can diminish that. Not gossip, not headlines, not a single interview." The post received millions of likes and thousands of supportive comments, though critics quickly labeled it as damage control. Still, it kept the couple firmly in the spotlight. Producers at Today with Jenna and friends were reportedly furious behind the scenes, fearing the incident had damaged the show's reputation for being friendly, family-oriented television. Staff leaked that morale was low, with many blaming Jenna's persistence for crossing the line. Rumors even circulated that NBC was considering bringing in additional co-hosts to balance out her interviewing style, a move seen as a quiet reprimand. Jenna, however, dismissed the rumors, insisting she had the network's full support by the